This is Sparta!
What's good, everybody, man? Welcome to episode 11. Believe it or not, I haven't done one of these in a long time, man. Let's talk about it. Essentially, what I used to do is a 60-minute topic about, whatever came to my mind in pop culture. And today, yeah, couple topics, man. A couple topics. We got Ghost Rider. The Ghost Rider is making people go crazy, believe it or not. And also, is company interaction a bad thing for content creators as well as collectors, man? But without further ado, got my guy Matt here. Matt, what's going on, man?
What's good? What's good, Cash?
Not much, man. Shit.
starting the week off, man. Starting the week off. Got a little Monday Night Football in the background.
Yeah.
Just I'm glad you have the topic, man. Gives you a little few minutes to chat about something,
Yeah. Nothing too big, man. We'll be here for a little bit. I'm happy about football. Football should be back, like the regular season, about 2 weeks here. So I'm happy about that. Shout out the Flock is our year. What's good, Keesus?
What up, y'all? Yeah, during the first segment, if I don't talk a lot, it's not because I don't want to, it's just because everybody already heard me in my. I don't.
No, you're good.
I don't want to harp on it constantly.
Yeah.
But if you hear kids in the background, I'm watching kids, so don't mind them. I might mute myself, but I'll still be here.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. Before we get started, just saying hello to who's in the chat right now. Currently, again, we got Random Korean, man. The real BBC on Monday. Shout out Random Korean. Appreciate you coming through. My guy Archangel, the Ghost Rider is overpriced. He went straight to it, man. The Ghost Rider is overpriced, man. Casual Nerd Problems, what's good, man? My guy Casual has a stream coming on in about 30 minutes or so, if I'm not mistaken. He will be unboxing the XM Studios Hulkbuster, man. So y'all go ahead and check out Casual. Show him some love, man.
No.
Wow. All right. Anyways, do you know these kids you are watching? Wow.
I believe so. I hope I do.
All right. Slifer, what's up, guys in chat? What's good, everybody, man? Give it a couple minutes while everybody trickles in. Gotham Cinnabite says, it's not the Ghost Rider for me personally. It's just PCS and their main spokesperson. How often you see anyone from any other company in chats in every group attacking people, questioning them? Okay, fair point. Watch the replay. Sweet game will be on. What game will be on fleet? Oh man. Agreed. Arch way overpriced for PCS quality. Definitely. Yeah. Casual. I'll definitely check out the replay for sure. Is this a non-PCS Glaze stream? 100%. Yeah, man. We about to get started here. So again, topic number one, guys. Let's go ahead and get it pulled up, and we'll get started. Is PCS Ghost Rider price crazy? And for those of you guys who don't know, you can buy it on Sideshow, but you can also buy it on PCS site directly. Now, if you buy it on PCS site directly, it will be obviously a little bit of a price saver, but still that comes with a cost. And if you don't know, we'll go ahead and get into it because me and Keesus actually have something currently on order that I don't know. Some people might actually feel they would want to cancel it just based on the weight. Really can't say. So from Sideshow directly is going to be 3,755 buckaroos. That is crazy. That's not even considering tax, tariff, or shipping. That's the first thing that bothers me. Matt, if you had to guess, how much would you say your closest guess is to what this piece is actually going to be priced?
A little over 4,000. I could see you with shipping. I mean, they got 3,755. You're going to pay at least 400 in shipping, and then some other supplemental tax. So,
yeah,
at your door, you're probably going to be close to $4,100.
4,100. Okay.
Not to cut anyone you off. Did any one of you remember the price of LBS Hulk?
Oh, dude, I think that. let me see if I can Google it real quick. I don't think the LBS Hawk was a lot.
If you're ordering just one versus all the other torsos.
3,000 SGD. To US, that is $2,400 plus shipping.
So I just want from perspective.
Yeah.
Other big pieces.
What about this? What about XM's Maestro?
Ooh, let me Google that one real quick. XM Maestro.
And that's a quarter scale.
Both of them are something. Oh yeah, that is a quarter scale. I just arrived, but like, what are you guys? It seems like you guys are listing similar overpriced statues.
Right.
What is the point that's trying to be made?
So I was the one who asked it, right? So for my reasoning for asking that, I wanted to compare it to another big product like LBS, Hulk. People were okay paying that, right? Granted, quality was at that time, XM quality was better. It had its issues, of course, when it came out, QC issues, stuff like that. But these are the prices now that PCS is asking for. So my reasoning is the quality that PCS brings to the table, is it matching any of those other pieces that ask for that price?
No, but I think it can also be argued that those pieces that you even brought up are also overpriced.
That 100% true.
Okay, that's subjective.
Exactly, it's subjective. I agree.
So he's just making a comparison of similar size and price. So I think that's a fair statement. You know, when we say something's overpriced, I mean that's subjective based upon your disposable income or how you spend your money.
Yeah. But there is some kind of consensus forming within the community. A lot of people do not feel this is worth the money, which is what all the hubbub is about, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a pushback that a lot of people do feel it, and they're buying it, regardless of money, because they're in a position to do it.
Do you think, if you were to gauge the community sentiment, right? Do you think, because we didn't get this kind of pushback, like what Kesis is saying with the Maestro, right? Why is there so much pushback when PCS puts out a really expensive piece at a premium price point? It's because people don't believe it's worth the value. If we were to just try to synthesize that reaction and get an explanation, synthesize an explanation from the reaction as to why that sentiment is the way it is. I would like to put it simply. I would just say people do not feel it's worth the money. Now, why do they feel that way?
All right. So my take on it is, I'm going to say, giving the different groups that I've been in and given the different things that I've seen, I would say it's pretty much split, maybe 60-40. I would agree with the fact that most say that the quality is not the same as XM or Prime 1. However, there's about 40% of people that say they don't care. They like that piece and they want that piece. So they're going to buy that piece. Mm-hmm. And, some guys, it's obviously targeted for the high-end collector who's got the money to spend $4,000 on a statue. The average guy who's used to spending under $1,000 think that it's overpriced because they don't want to pay that much for a statue.
What do you say to cause I feel like so there's this common refrain that's come up, which is they're basically, I've heard many people say that it's not going to be Prime 1 quality, but they're charging Prime 1 prices. Now that's not Prime 1 pieces are not just the pieces that are below $1,000. So I don't think you could easily frame it as people who usually don't buy expensive pieces are against this high price point. I think people that buy Prime 1, they have certain expectations of a product and they don't believe that PCS will meet those expectations. And that's part of why there is so much discontent.
So that's part of
good,
why.
Slim Boss.
To be honest, but the main reason why the pushback that I heard from PCS was the customer service of PCS. And people were more upset about the customer service than they were about the quality. So I heard a lot about they got, PCS doesn't treat its people right. They're doing this, they're doing that, and I think that in itself puts a bad stain of reputation on the company. So therefore, people say, "Screw that! I don't care what they put out. I'm not going to buy it." So I think that is a factor as well, and then it's easy to justify it further when you have a statue that's priced typically out of, which is probably one of the most expensive statues we've seen coming off of retail, right? So I think those two factors combined is what it takes. I understand and I hear you about the quality aspect of it, but again, that too is also subjective, right?
Matt, I actually think the idea of basically people worried about the customer service is actually just a symptom of them being worried about the quality. They're worried about the customer service because they don't think they're going to get their money back when there's issues when it arrives at their place.
Hey, real quick, if you could pause it right there. So me and Keesis actually have the Marcus from PCS on order. We both purchased it directly from PCS.
Yes.
Now I did it because I wanted that exclusive for Williams Tomb. That's why I did it. That, however, was before they made that new change. So me and Keesis were like grandfathered into this no refund stuff, which personally I do not agree with. I do still want the piece. However, if I don't want it, that does make me feel cause to pause from a purchasing standpoint, because if I change my mind or I change my direction, well, now I'm forced to basically get store credit. And that part I don't agree with. So you're essentially saying you have to pay an extra $400 with Sideshow just to go around that and potentially lose out on any future PCS exclusives that you can only get from their site versus a distributor site like Spec Fiction or Sideshow. That's also a cause of pause with it. Like, you're paying $400 more for a piece of freaking mine. That part there is crazy.
I don't know. I me being involved with some custom games and things like that. When it's debatable on the inside, how they run their business. But when you invest into a statue, a lot of times that PO money is used as capital towards the production of that statue, and when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
And if I was running it, I'd say, no, man, you gave me the money for the investment. Now that you have cause for pause, that's So either way, if you're going to pay $400 for a piece of mine,
you're
going to lose $400. You live $400 for a PO. And you change your mind, you're gonna lose $400. You see what I'm saying?
No, but that's not an NRD. I would say because if they want to run their business, because the thing is, the expectation of a licensed company versus a custom group is completely different. If you're gonna run your licensed group, your licensed company, like you are kickstarting things and you're crowdfunding, and all the money disappears into the project after the fact, then you need to inform your customers that that's how things are going to be run.
Well, they do inform their customers.
Now, they didn't inform Cash. Cash bought the Marcus, and then now he's forced into this new agreement that he never signed on to. A lot of people were forced into that, but now people know. And yes, if you buy from PCS, you're locked in. Your money is trapped in that system. No, if you change your mind, you're getting store credit, and you have to buy another PCS piece. You're never pulling it out.
Gotcha.
I still think it's a terrible policy, but for the people that were roped in, and they had no choice, they were never informed when they made their purchase. They were never informed before going in.
Yeah, that's not good. That goes into, like you said, that's not good customer service there. That's not. They should have been able to be grandfathered where they can get out if they wanted to.
But and also, again, just to reinforce that point I made initially when you spoke about people having an issue with the customer service, less so the quality. Like I said, I believe that issue with the customer service is a problem of quality. It's a symptom. People are afraid of their customer service because if they have an issue, when they buy the piece, they will not be taken care of in a way they want to. Because the same way we saw this policy manifest was by people presenting QC issues and PCS not properly handling it. There was a guy that got the Carnage bust, the maximum Carnage bust,
Sure, I remember that.
a tooth was broken, and he's like, I need this resolved. I got a damaged piece, and I need this resolved. He was like, this looked like it was glued from the factory, and there were some other issues that he noted, and PCS did not want to do anything for him. Granted, the guy lived in Israel, but like at the very least, give him all his money back. But that's not what they wanted to do. And there are other iterations or instances, where like people have had QC issues and they went to PCS to resolve them, and things were not resolved in the way they should have been, and they are frustrated that they cannot take their money out of the system. It's like you get store credit and suck a dick, right? And so that is why I think it's not necessarily their policy sucks. Their policy sucks, but the fear that fear is there because you're scared that you will not be dealt, you will not get the right treatment if the quality of the statue is not good.
Right. Well, we know that, and again, but it's also, you know, I guess you also have to look at it as the guys that are ordering it. You know, if some of the newer pieces that have come out with PCS, people seem to be very happy with the product and the quality. So, you know, I think PCS is trying to maybe change the way that their product, you know what I mean? And when they're coming out with a piece like this, you know, it's going to cost what it's going to cost. And I think, you know, you're going to buy it.
Can we all at least agree on one thing, just from a visual standpoint? It at least looks very appealing, or it at least looks very, like, bare minimum, this looks extremely promising. Like, I can't say how it's going to end up being in production, nothing like that, but just from the concept, the design, it looks very promising. It looks like it'll probably end up being the best piece that they've ever showcased us to this point. I just agree with everything that Buck said. It's that if there's a QC issue, you know, will I be taken care of? I would hope that they would take care of people, but then also just, I don't know anything about from obviously, like, I don't work for a company. I don't see the behind the scenes stuff, but somebody had actually made a comparison, right? And they were making a comparison about the PCS. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here. They were talking specifically about it was that guy. He was talking about like anime statues, right? And just anime statues, essentially, with the LEDs and similar size. And it's like, I got what he was saying, but he was trying to compare like a quarter scale One Piece statue of Ace, you know, with the fire all big in the air and stuff. And I'm like,
I'm not buying that at all. And here's the reason.
I do agree with that, Matt. I do agree with that.
Okay. I don't. One, I agree with you.
No, I'm saying I agree with you.
Oh, okay.
That you're not buying it.
So one, I agree with you on the fact that I think this is probably one of the PCS's best pieces that they've put out, or they're going to put out.
Yeah, right? I think it will be.
I think this is a showstopper. This statue is freaking amazing. I like everything about it. Is it overpriced? I'm going to speak personally. For me, it's more than I have on disposable income for this hobby.
Right.
For me personally. But if I was rolling whatever and it wasn't an issue, or if size wasn't an issue for me,
right,
I'd love it. If this were in quarter scale, I'd probably try to get my hands on it somehow. Mm-hmm. Right? This piece is phenomenal. So I got to give PCS credit. I got to give it's Kucheric Brothers, right?
Kucheric Brothers, yep.
Dude, they knocked it out the park. You know.
Oh yeah, no question.
So this piece is phenomenal as far as I'm concerned. The price point. You know, I think a company should be able to charge what they want for a statue. If you want to buy, you buy. You don't. I mean, it's just the way it goes. It's the same thing with clothing. You've got Ralph Lauren Polo. You've got Polo Association. Yeah, they're both knit shirts. So,
hey, shout out Abercrombie on the $100 jeans on Black Friday. You can get them for $35.
Let's imagine Old Navy tomorrow decided they wanted to charge you $5,000 for a pair of jeans.
I wouldn't buy them.
Look, there are plenty of companies that do that anyway, and people buy it and they walk around and I don't think they're styling.
Old Navy specifically.
Guess what? There's people that'll do that, and those are the premium.
What do you think the reaction would be from people? Take a wild guess.
Buck, what I'm saying is, it doesn't look at a Rolex or look at different watches.
A Rolex has a history of being like premium quality, and the perception, the branding matters. The branding does matter. You can't disregard the branding. The branding PCS has up to this point is that they cannot charge this kind of price for their products.
You know, you could get Hyundai puts out their premium line car. It doesn't matter. So let me finish what I was getting ready to say though. But when comparing this to some anime pieces and whatnot, I get the sense. If you're into anime, you know, I guess you can see that, and you could probably equate these statues. But there also has something to do with popularity and desire, and what's hot and what's not, right? You know, and I see a lot of people making the comparison. I see a lot of people making the comparisons to the Prime 1-4, right?
Yeah. I've been seeing that.
There's no way I would compare those two. There's no way. I don't care what kind of quality. That statue could be, Prime 1-4 could be made of gold. I don't want a fat guy standing on a rock over something this dynamic, period. I don't care how you cut it. Yeah. And, you know, if you look at it, and it's desirability. If you were to go to a mall and you take the Prime 1-4 and you take that Ghost Rider, and you had people who know nothing about statues say, which one of these two pieces would you want to put in your living room? Guess which one they're going to walk?
Ghost Rider, hands down.
I think you're missing. I think you're missing the point of the comparison.
No, I'm not. That in itself is the comparison. The desirability.
I disagree.
Like I said, that's a hotter piece, right? And if you want that piece, it's a hot piece. You're going to pay for it.
That's not what people are comparing. That's not what people are comparing. That's not
what are they comparing? Is it quality?
People are charging premium dollar for it because it's a hot piece.
People are comparing the quality and the price points. People are saying that this is the kind of finish you can expect from Prime 1. You're not getting it from PCS, and Prime 1 doesn't have the audacity to charge you $3,700.
Yes, they do. Oh, yeah,
not on that statue is what.
Not on Thor. Yeah, not on Thor.
Like I said,
literally the point being made.
Fresh hotness.
That is. I'm telling you, the point you're making. You're arguing against a straw man, because that's not what people are saying. What you are constructing, this idea, this comparison, that's not the comparison that's being made. The comparison being made is the price points and the and the polish, the finish of the final statue.
No, the comparison that's being made is, why is it so high? Because it's fresh hotness, and they can charge what the heck they want to charge.
Different interpretations of what's going on, I would say. Does anyone else have any other input?
Real quick here, I do just want to say, like, for somebody who has seen anime statues in person, as well as a bunch of people who were commenting and trying to compare anime statues from an LED light up standpoint, some people were saying that they heard that just the LEDs alone in this Ghost Rider were costing essentially like $1,000. And when you compare that to, or like a couple hundred or something like that, and when you compare that to the anime statues, it's just like, how does this equal up just from a light up standpoint? And I think it's overpriced. I can't say by how much. If I had to put a price on it, I would have loved this to be 27. Maybe you could justify 2,900, but I think this should have been kept under 3,000 if at all possible. Now, according to what I've seen PCS try to do in the past, it seems like they try to get the prices down as much as possible, and maybe there was no other way that they could. But I think if you got this down to 2,900, obviously with shipping and stuff like that, I think it wouldn't have been as received as bad, because I think there's no argument. It is a show-stopping piece when you visually look at it. It's show-stopping.
I think.
Do you think it's? Sorry, go ahead, Keezus.
Just to touch on the comparison between anime and our superhero collection, I should put it. Just with the resin aspect and the light up aspect, right?
Yeah.
I think the comparison that certain people are trying to make is just like, hey, there's anime companies, both unlicensed and licensed companies, who's been doing this longer with bigger pieces, and the prices don't come out like that.
I think also what we're forgetting is that comparison that person made. They specifically made that comparison in response to Ant saying the reason why it's expensive is because of clear resin and light up. So they brought up a real world analog of multiple statues that have a lot of clear resin, have a lot of light ups in them, and they still don't cost almost $4,000. That's why that was brought up. Not necessarily about scale. It's the amount of clear resin and light ups that were used, and it has a shit ton more than what's on this statue, because that was the justification given by the CEO of the company for why this has to be priced at the price point it's at.
Yeah, and that's when they tried to use the One Piece statue as the most, like, something super big and as comparable as possible from a sheer size standpoint.
It has a lot of clear resin, and it's doing fire as well, and it has
dynamic
more lights in it than this one has.
Yeah.
I want that.
Sorry,
but that's not.
Let's say the people that want this don't want that, but because I'll guarantee you the ES is higher than this. I guarantee that.
Exactly. That's so nobody wants to.
No, it means more people want it. No, people want it. That's the ES reflects the demand.
No, that's not true. That is true. That is true. But it goes both ways, and the demand reflects the price based upon the ES.
Fair enough. Companies have in the community have like a black guy for whatever reason, right? For something they've done in the past, and even when they do amazing things, people are like, yeah, they suck for reasons from X, Y, and Z. Then I think that in the community that just gets like under a magnifying glass, makes it a bigger issue than it really is.
To be clear, this was a piece that they were specifically talking about. Monkey D Ace from Monkey D Studios, $1,700 shipped.
Not to mention that anime light ups notoriously last longer than
this is
a or a Prime One or Sideshow lights. They just last longer as well.
This is unlicensed as well, just to put that out there for the people.
Is there a bunch of pieces from regular, like the Prime Ones and stuff, where they complain about the lights not working?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
I'm just trying to figure out where.
I think they were just trying to compare Prime Ones in terms of quality, customer service,
last longer,
size.
And I don't recall many people complaining about their lights not working.
I'm sorry.
Are you able to back that up?
He may have had to step away with the kids real quick.
So I mean, I look at this piece, right?
Yeah.
And if you were to go to a mall,
my bad,
and you were to ask 100 people who know nothing about statues, which one of those two pieces would they want to have in their living room?
Okay, Matt. As somebody who recently got into anime, exactly, but because I mean that's a demographic. That's a demographic now, Matt.
You want that is because we can take the same conversation over there.
Yeah, because
it sold way more like issues than any Ghost Rider comic ever. Like combine all of them.
No, you're right. That's a fair statement to make about based
the
upon
One Piece IP is a lot bigger than the Ghost Rider IP, like hands down.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, I don't know, but I wouldn't disagree with you on that.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah,
but okay. What I'm saying is, okay, you look at this demographic over here.
Okay.
Right. And which is what I've got to go by. You know what I mean? I would think that if all things being created equal, same price and everything else,
right?
Which one of those pieces would be more desirable to pick up?
For me, it's Ghost Rider. I just like the way it looks.
But we're talking to people.
And my point is that in itself, the desirability of which one you like better, gauges a lot with how a business or a company will market its product or how it will price its product. Right. I
also think they're marketing on, hey, look, we're giving you a full bike in a third scale that everything lights up. Because with the XM, it was a full bike, but there was no light up. In Sideshow was a half bike, it lit up. But this is full bike, third scale, and everything lights up. plus it's Kucherik Brothers.
Hey. Just want to keep us on track. Our
Yeah.
30 minutes is coming in the end. Let's give final thoughts.
Appreciate that, Keesis.
I can't hear you.
My final, we'll go down the line and we'll give final thoughts on the PCS. My final thoughts is I think it's a tremendous piece. Hopefully PCS does knock it out the park. Shout out to Kucherik Brothers. I just wish it was priced lower. If you do buy this, I strongly suggest that you buy it directly from Sideshow, just in case you change your mind. Hell, just in case life happens and you need that money to pay your rent, pay your car or whatever. Because on the opposite side, again, no knock. You're not getting your money back. That's just how I feel personally. Again, no knock on them. Just calling it how it is. Buck, last words on this, man?
I think PCS has only themselves to blame for the cynicism and skepticism that's surrounding this piece. They've earned it with the policies they've made and the kind of quality they've put out over the years. And so now it's up to them to prove us wrong. When this comes out, no issues, and it needs to look amazing. Otherwise, what's going to happen? We're going to say we were right. And even if we are proven wrong, this skepticism here, it is still justified because of the track record. So we are doubting them because of their track record. And so they have to create a tradition of releasing pieces that are good, that are faultless, especially at this price point. The more money you ask for, the more demanding the audience is going to be. The more exacting will be about the level of quality you need to put out. And so they need to foster a tradition as a company of putting out high quality products for a premium price point before people are going to be able to go, PCS put out an expensive piece. Oh, it's PCS. They'll be able to deliver in the end.
Well, when you say that though, where do they start? They
start?
put out the Blade. They put out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They put out other stuff that people like. A lot of people say they love it. So you're also going to get people say they don't. So at what point do they start with what you're saying? Because no matter what they come out with, you're always going to go back to, well, they mess up anyway.
The pieces you just mentioned came out with multiple QC issues. The pieces you just mentioned came out with multiple QC issues. The Blade, plastic sword, plastic knife,
hey, let plastic cook for a little bit,
metals. People were complaining about that piece. Rashid got his shit with issues. He was upset. Slifer got his stuff with issues. He was upset. Piggy got his stuff with issues. He was upset.
Piggy had to get it repainted and everything.
They're not flawless. They make even the people buying their products are complaining. After Slifer got his Blade, he said he will never buy a PCS statue again. There, these examples you give, the Ninja Turtles, so many of them were plagued with issues. I know someone that is a regular community member. He ordered Shredder and he got all 3 turtles. Every single one of those statues came in with QC issues. Every single one. And he went to them every time to resolve it. It's not a perfect company. They have we're talking about that finish when it gets in hand. I see it constantly. People are complaining, hey, I got my stuff, and now they delete your post in their group. They don't allow you to to voice any issue. And okay, other groups are like that, other companies are like that, but they weren't like that before. It feels like now they're trying to batten down the hatches so they can lock down that negative sentiment and push it out. Right, but they have earned that negativity. That's what I'm saying.
That's fine. And again, I prefaced it saying what I said was a lot of people who complain about the price are more complaining about their customer service. Now, if this thing comes out and it has QC issues and they take care of everybody, you see what I'm saying?
That's not good enough. It can't come out at this price and have a bunch of QC issues like the other stuff. It cannot. It needs to come out, and it needs to be the quality that this releases at needs to be reflective of the price point that they're demanding.
I hate to say it, but I hate to say it's company because it's what I don't buy from them. But like J&D, I think they go back to the board a lot right before they release it. But J&D hardly gets talked about when it comes to QC issues. And I feel like J&D doesn't have that luxury. They don't have that space to have those problems because of the price point. So with PCS having a lot of those problems in their past pieces, I can understand why some people are like, hey, y'all aren't there yet. If y'all want to be these premium prices and this company, y'all want to change your image, y'all have to earn our trust. Y'all have to start putting out products before you could charge this price. It feels like they're just skipping to this price without putting any of the legwork in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I disagree. I think the price is the price. I think you run a business. You're not running a appease whiners. And I'm sure they looked at the cost of it being made and what they need to make with their profit margin and what they need to pay out to people and what they need to do, and they're sticking to it and they're putting out that product. Now, I think we're talking two separate issues. When they have an issue with bad customer service, I understand exactly what you're saying with quality and this and that, but I think they have the right to charge whatever they want to charge. If it has bad quality, if they still go down the same road, then time will tell. You know what I mean? Of whether or not people will, again, like you said, people judge with their wallets. And if this statue sells out, which like I think it will, it'll say something. And it'll be for those guys that want it and those guys that can deal with the QC issues or to deal with the customer service.
I think also, just to address Dennis, Dennis, love you, you're my guy. To address what he's saying is like, I don't believe you have to buy something to not agree or not agree with it.
Yeah.
Right. I don't like that notion. You don't have to buy it to say, damn, that's overpriced. What are we talking about? For people who don't have a PCS product in their collection, right? You don't have to have a PCS product to see other people get their product in and say, damn, that looks like it has QC issues. We have eyes, guys. Like, we have common thinking. We're adults here. Stop trying to say you got to buy something to like it or to have an opinion about it. That's not true. It's just not.
I would also say this. What does overpriced mean? It's not deserving of the price point that it's asking for, right?
Yeah.
And why do people think it's not deserving? Because of their track record, right? So if someone says some genuine leather bag from a designer house in France is not worth the price point, but the polish and the finish of the end product is like very solid, very good. You can't pick a flaw with it. To the people that can afford it, they're like, who gives a shit what you're saying? My bag is very well made, right? Yeah. But people don't think the PCS is very well made. Like their stuff, and that is the big problem. They are asking for a price point, and people are thinking, what that price point that you're asking for, you're not going to be able to make a product whose quality matches that price point, that it's deserving of that price point. And that is where the concern is. I think, like many are saying, we will wait and see what PCS can deliver on this. They will have to, so that the people that had enough faith or that were willing to gamble, especially by ordering directly from them, they don't have egg on their faces at the end of this whole.
My dumb ass, because I ordered that, Marcus, directly from them.
No, I don't even think that was being dumb. I mean, at that time, it was different stipulations, and like I said, the exclusive piece was pretty cool. So I get that. Glass Joe, final words, man. What's your take on it? Oh, you made it, man. Can't hear you.
I think Buck's assessment was pretty on point as far as initially before it spiraled into another debate. But I think. We'll see, I guess, right? Yeah. We're going to find out if bad press or any press is good press kind of thing,
Oh, for sure. It's definitely getting talked about.
They're getting a ton of attention. They were getting attention prior because they liked it, and then it became it's way overpriced and it's crazy thing throughout the community. I think that's just going to stir the pot, and I think this thing, like Matt said, is probably going to sell out. And, we'll be looking back, deciding on which one was right, but
yeah,
it's not going to change people's minds. The people who don't like PCS can make the thing out of gold, and they're going to be like, it's a piece of shit. It's overpriced. So it's kind of like Buck was saying with the high quality bag.
Yeah.
Who cares what anybody says? I got the piece I wanted, and I was comfortable with the price point.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're looking at here.
Appreciate it, man. Before I go to topic number 2, I will say this. I did pick up the PCS quarter scale Michael Myers exclusive. Statue was on point. Everything that I would have wanted from a Michael Myers in a quarter scale, it was definitely spot on. Got it at a great price, great edition size. So I appreciate what they're doing from a horror standpoint. However, another line that I was really, really wanting to just go well based off nostalgia was the WWE line. I believe it was a SummerSlam Undertaker, if I'm not mistaken. It might be a different version, but I got the Undertaker, and the hair was just something I didn't care for. Obviously, that was about 3 years ago. I would have just assumed they've gotten better today versus back then. Just assuming better quality, better techniques, better sculptors, et cetera, et cetera. So I've bought, and again, I still want the PCS Marcus. I plan to get the Leatherface. I plan to get the Ghost Face, the Candyman. I love what they do from a horror standpoint. So from a horror standpoint, I'm all in on them. It's just I have to buy it directly from Sideshow is my only knock on them. Appreciate you guys for tapping in to topic number 1. And to close us out here,
add something real quick, very brief. In response to people saying things such as the price is the price, why talk about it? Maybe like framing it as you're just hating. The price, basically, if you can afford it, you'll buy it. There's no need to discuss it. That same mentality where you're saying don't waste your time discussing it. It's the same, like you don't need to listen to us talking about things you don't like either. You can just choose what you listen to because you are free. The reason why we're sharing our opinions on this, we have thoughts on it, and we just want to talk about it with each other. And for anyone who wants to listen to that, that's why we're talking about this. So if you don't like the discussion that's going on here, it's perfectly fine. You can leave. And then next time when we're talking about something you like, you can come as well. I'm not going to tell anyone to go away. But if this upsets you, this discussion, you actually don't have to expose yourself to it. Just come back when we're talking about something that you want to listen to, right? If you don't like what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Fair, man. Fair statement. Goes both ways, right?
Yeah, no doubt, man. Moving on to topic number 2. Buck, I'll let you. Sorry, go ahead.
And if you thought the last topic,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
Go ahead, man.
Buck. I'm just, you know me, man. I'm just playing, bro. Go ahead, Cash.
Okay. Topic number 2, man. I'll let Buck take us away with this one here. Is company interactions a bad thing? And we mean that from a content creator standpoint, as well as just more diving into direct interactions between CEOs, art directors, project managers to set collector. Go ahead, Buck.
Yeah. I think this came about for me because earlier today I saw some people on Facebook criticizing other YouTube channels because they felt like they were being soft on PCS. When you have the, maybe Ant comes on, or in other scenarios, maybe sculptors come on or representatives from the company, they come onto the show and it feels like punches are being pulled. I think when that happens, it's not subjective. It is subconscious. Like the actual panel, when you become friends with someone, it kind of blurs the line. It's hard to separate that friendship and professional criticism, especially if the person is right there at the moment. Like, how are you free to openly discuss or disparage practices by the company that they're representing, right? You need to have the mindset of someone who is there to ask challenging questions and be willing to ask those questions. And it's not easy. I think it's very easy to become friendly with the representatives from the company and lose sight of the fact that you want to be critical or yeah, you just want to be critical and look at the things that they're doing and ask, because people do within the chat or within your audience do look to you as a source of information and being able to represent them. You are a representative of your chat and your audience when those people from the company step into your live stream, and they want you to represent their thoughts as well. So if in a situation like this, Ghost Rider, where there is, like Matt has said, like he's seeing a 60-40 split, and I might not even characterize the split with those percentages, but when you see that kind of split and you as a YouTuber, you're not representing that sentiment that exists within your audience when the company is there, you're not helping voice those ideas, people get upset. And I just feel it's dangerous when the company constantly comes on and you form like those kind of personal relationships with the representatives. And I personally try to avoid being on streams now where like the company rep is there, because I don't want to feel like my friend is there and I am disparaging their place of work. It's going to be uncomfortable for me and it's going to be uncomfortable for them. And you have to find a very strong balance. And sometimes it just feels like I'm not speaking the way I would be speaking if mommy and daddy were not in the room. And so, because if they weren't there, I might say, like, even if I might voice my opinion, I might not voice it in the way I would if they were not present. Then again, there's also many benefits to having those people be around. And I'm sure someone like members will, and then the panel here would mention that. Yeah.
I agree with that. From the beginning of the channel, we've had plenty of artists and sculptors on the channel, artists, sculptors, 2D designs, whatever. We've had Victor Garduno, we've had JP Mavinga, Amilcar Fong, Daniel Bell, Jorge Villar, Franco. We're actually supposed to get another person who used to be with Sideshow that will be coming on soon. I do feel like when you're talking to certain people, it does filter you. Like, and we'll give a more closer example. You guys remember episode 84, if I'm not mistaken, of the BBC? We talked about Cyclops a lot. So Jorge asked if he could come on. Sent Jorge a link. He came on the show and talked about it. And I do feel like if Jorge wasn't there, then it may have been more critical. Let's just say the bass, for example. Not that I don't like anything about the bass, but just using the bass example, you might have been like, man, I don't really care for that bass because the way that they paint it, the gray man has attacked again on the bass, but with Jorge being there, man, I just don't really care for the paint on it. I wish they had did this. Just the way you explain it would be more like almost like you're talking to your boss at work. Like, you have to say it in a way to where you're not going to get like fired per se. And so that's why when people were like giving shit to the people who were interviewing PCS, it's like on one end, I get not coming rude, but on the opposite side, I still don't feel there's anything wrong with asking those questions, which directly, hey man, why is this shit priced at $3,700? Can you please tell a brother? That's what I would have made a joke about it. That's what I would have said. Just like, there's no way this is $3,700.
I think. Do you have any screenshots of the ones that we sent?
Yeah, let me get those pulled up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's like Buck, you touched on. I mean, there's two sides to everything. You said on the other hand. I think it's great that the shows that people, representatives of companies, come on the shows. That just shows that they have their ear to the ground to the community, and they want to get feedback from the community. Now, what they do with that feedback or how they filter it, that's left up to them. Yeah. And they're gonna have tough skin to hear some of the criticism that comes out with some of these statues. Sometimes it works, and it's a good thing. I've seen on the Everyday, shout out the Everyday Collector. they bring up stuff a lot of times with some product, and then they go back to the table and they fix it or they change it. So it could be a benefit. What I don't think is good is if you have a representative on a company and then you start sandbagging, the product, or you sandbag them with questions. If you have a representative, say a CEO or somebody big in the company coming on, me personally, I would say, hey, listen, man, here are some of the questions I'm going to ask you, and they might be some tough questions. At least give them a heads up so they can have a formative answer for that, for the questions. They may be tough questions, but at least they can give you an answer. Might not be the answer you want, but at least they're not, sandbagged or they didn't get separated with questions.
I think even beyond that, Matt, I think one of the concerns is that, because you said one key thing you said was that they want to get feedback. Yeah. I think the concern from a lot of people is that there's no feedback being given. It's just like, in terms of people, those, that's why I mentioned it as your audience sees you as the streamer, as their representative in that situation to the company, and they want you to express the sentiment they feel. So in a situation where parts of the community, they love this Ghost Rider, they think it's awesome, but there's also a significant portion that has issues, and they want you to come directly and help represent them directly to the CEO, and they feel you're not doing that. They're gonna go like, "What's this? Is this just like a fluffing interview where you
And here's somebody's post.
I don't see. I love being a panelist on some of these chats and everything else, but I don't see myself as a representative of certain people in the community. Real quick, my personal opinions on things, and a lot of people agree with it or they disagree with it. That's fine.
Real quick, Matt. One thing. Number one, chat. Here's somebody's post who's actually going to be buying supposedly 2 of them, one for themselves and one for a buddy. That's him. Just the post. But Matt, you remember Charles Barkley when he made that comment? Hey, I'm not a role model for these kids. And a lot of people said, hey, Charles, but you are you have the platform, right? No different than the Everyday Collector, the BBC channel, the COC, whoever. You have that platform. So people look at it that way, like, well, you're the one who gets to directly speak to them, not me. So how about you speak up and say, why is this priced this way?
I did say it was. Yeah. I did say it's priced extremely high, right? But I also said they've got the right to price. I said for me personally, it's overpriced for me. But they got the right to price what it is, and whoever wants to buy it can buy it. I don't know what's in these dudes' minds out here. There's a lot of crazy dudes collecting statues.
No, I get that, Matt. But I'm saying, as a viewer, the viewer is thinking, Matt, if you're interviewing these people or you have them on the channel as a guest, ask them why the edition size is so low.
I would not have a problem doing that. Matter of fact, the question I think that should be asked of PCS of Ant would not necessarily be on the statue, would be upon the reputation that PC, just like what Buck said. The reason why, and I said this too, I think the reason why there's so much pushback on the price is because of the reputation that the company has with not taking care of its people. And I think that plays a lot with their willingness to spend such a high dollar. And that's the question that I would ask. What would the company do to change that reputation to make it more if you're going to charge this much for pieces, how is the company going to reflect itself and being credible for charging these prices? That's what the question is, not on the piece itself or anything like that. It's more reflective on the company and the structure of the company and its what's the word? The soul of the company than it is the product.
Yeah.
That's the tough question to ask.
Can you go back to that?
No, I hear you, Matt.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Keith. Just quickly. I've been talking a lot.
I just want to bring up. I don't know if it was this one. No, yeah, is it this one? Where he was talking about stepping on the toes of companies. It was one of those ones.
Was it the one that you sent?
I think so. Yeah. That was interesting, more so to me. That.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I thought this comment. Yeah, I thought this comment was more interesting. That how can I put it? Stepping on the toes of companies is. I feel like godlike statues, right, or whatever their name is.
Yeah,
I totally forgot their. they came in, when I heard about them, I thought they were more based on relationships, right? I feel like some channels you just get that vibe, or there's already an understanding that, hey, they're based on this and that. So when
Can you
they came
expand
out,
on that? What do you mean by based on this and that?
so let's say Toy Quest. I have no issue with Toy Quest, what he does with his channel, what he does with his brand, but his brand is relationships. He
With
has a
corporate relationships, what do you mean?
Yes, he has a relationship with, and he's very outgoing about that relationship, right? There's no hiding it, there's no none of that. So when he has Ant on, I don't see it as, I don't look at it and be like, oh, I'm expecting him to ask Ant this or that, right? I expect him to be very friendly going. I think the issue with you're kind of bringing up, Buck, that I agree with you on, is like COC. They have guests on, and sometimes I see them kind of change their tone. It still would be a good episode, but their tone definitely changes, right?
I didn't say COC.
It doesn't matter. We have to put it in context, right?
I don't think that's totally fair, though. I think, it's not just with these company sponsors or whatever. When Matt's daughter came on, everybody here was on their best behavior. Nobody was talking about, BBC or, all the other nonsense. Everybody was
I think
respectful.
those are two different things, though. We're talking about underage.
No, Joe makes a point. He makes a good point.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
We're definitely, still getting your point across, but way more, respectful of the people in the room.
Exactly.
And I don't think that has anything to do with where they work. It was just, somebody different. And even with Jorge, like, people were saying what they liked and didn't like, but they weren't talking shit like, fuck Sideshow, fuck PCS, fuck, they weren't doing any of that. It was the same message. It was just, a little bit more softer in tone.
Is that modulation of our behavior that I'm
thinking more towards what the complaint from that one guy when it was for a godlike, right? If it's different from us, we could be respectful and still be direct, right? That's what we were doing, right? There's some people who will completely just be like, you know what, I'm not going to bring this up, or I'm not going to even get into that for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I can see that. I don't think that the few times I've been on when somebody was on, we were that way, but I see your point, Stans.
Yeah.
I also think it's different depending, right? If you have like a CEO of a company on, it's different than if you had like an artist on. Like an artist, you're picking their brain for what they do and how they do it and what they were thinking when they were doing it. As with the person who owns the company, it's a very different thing. You ask about business model and how they present things. So to me, artists, not that they should be, it's just separate to me. They're different. They're both the same company.
I think the danger remains, but like what you're saying is true. But because that's one of the benefits of having the artist on. Like you said, you could pick their brain and find out more about the process of like the creative process. But that danger where like the way what you were mentioning when Matt's daughter was here, we modulated our behavior. You it's like you start pulling punches, or
that was out of respect for Matt.
Out of respect for Matt, or or
it's
like it's when you present like a criticism and then you have to couch it or qualify that criticism after the fact. And normally you wouldn't do that. There is that change in your behavior that it just goes like, the only reason why you're doing this is because this person is here. If you were speaking freely and openly without like some kind of presence in the room, it would be your takes. The ideas might be expressed, but they would be expressed differently. And that difference in behavior, depending on who it is, like if I always spoke in a way where like I was mindful of not being crass or rude, because Joe, you know me, sometimes I'll be like, yeah, it's shit, and you should feel free to say it's shit. If we were reviewing a statue and the sculptor who made it was here, I would never say it's shit, never. But if they were not here and I thought it was shit, I would say it's shit. And that's just what I'm saying. I personally will not say that. And the fact that I won't say those words, even though I feel that way while they're here, that's a
but you
difference
remember
in my behavior.
Jorge was like, no, don't hold back. And it's like, Jorge,
you
don't
say,
mean that.
He can say don't hold back all he wants, but if I was to start talking the way I would talk, it would hurt his feelings.
No,
right?
That's fair. But at the same time, in my experience with the ones that we've talked to, or even the ones I spoke to at the StatueCon, like they're interested in hearing the things you didn't like. They don't want to hear you go, that thing's fucking shit, but they're actually interested in hearing what the issues you have.
Things can be improved.
I think our issue is not the asking or not being polite per se or being respectful, right? I'm not gonna flat out be like, "Hey, Jorge, that was shit. I don't like the way he floats in the air. I don't care, right?" Yeah. All I'm saying is to not ask him, "Hey, Jorge, why is his jacket like this?" Right? Or why in your X-Men line did you guys decide to go this route when you have X, Y, and C? You can keep it on track. And I understand sometimes the flow of the conversation, those questions don't come out, right? Yeah. But, I think to completely avoid it because of relationships is when it gets sticky.
Yeah.
To say,
right.
what?
I'll give you a prime example. I would not have a problem asking Ant about the Conan PCS. Right, I would say, hey, listen, looking at this piece, you used 2 different movies to come up with one piece. Where did that? Because it's not completely movie accurate. What was the process they were thinking there? That's a tough question.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, what you said, I want to bring it back just so we could tie things up.
Yeah.
The idea of these companies coming on for feedback, feedback from who? Feedback from the panel or feedback from the community? And if it's feedback from the community, then your job as the streamer is to represent them.
Yeah.
Because
Buck, I think it's more like I think they want to read the room or get a gauge, right? And I think by doing that, when you come on a show or if they say on a show, there's going to be follow-up in a chat or in a group. And you can go to different groups and read what people are saying about it, and you can gauge the temperature on a product. And I think that's what I'm talking about, like feedback as well.
They don't have to come on your show to get
they don't have
to get that. But why'd they come on? Like it's good PR for them.
Yeah,
they're trying to exploit you, but you need to exploit them at the same time and help voice the thoughts of the people that have certain expectations within your audience.
It goes both ways, and you praise the piece as well. I mean, if it's a great piece, you praise it. If it's
a great piece, but if you got like 50% of your audience saying over a specific issue, you got to tell the person that's sitting in the live stream. You got to tell them. You got to tell the
Hey Buck, I got to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
It's the weekend. I need the day off, right?
Yeah.
And I say, hey man, the kids is gonna be watched by Uncle Buck. Is Uncle Buck gonna let the kids watch The Exorcist, or is Uncle Buck gonna put on Sesame Street? Serious question.
Sesame Street.
Okay, so if you're gonna put on Sesame Street, that means you're holding back what you really want to watch is a grown-up movie, but you can't watch it or speak on it because there's kids in the room. I think that's the same thing that some people do. They censor what they really want to say because they, like you said, there's a certain model that some channels have. Don't need to name them or even knock them, but there's just some channels, every channel wants something different out of their channel, whether it's sponsorships or whatever. But I think it's a three-headed monster, right? So from the viewer standpoint, if the content creator is asking the hard questions, then the viewer wins because they're getting their questions answered. However, the content creator wins because he's also getting the views by having the guest on, plus he's getting the engagement, and he's also being known as one of those channels that's willing to ask the hard questions. Plus, this company is getting that engagement that basically says, hey, you want to buy my product, or let me change the paint on that so you guys can buy my product, because that's the overall consensus of what people are saying. So I think everybody wins, the viewer, the content creator, and the statue company, if it's done correctly. but you have to ask those questions.
Everybody
you
wants
cannot
something
be shy.
from you. When you're a streamer, like the audience wants something from you, the company wants something from you, you want something from both of them, and everybody's wanting something from each person. Everybody wants to use each other, and you got to find the right balance. If you're the streamer, you got to find the right balance to give the viewers what they want. You got to also find a way to give the company what they want by not saying your stuff is shit, but you can say it. You can use the friendlier way, and just tell them with different words that it is shit, so that the audience can get what they want out of the company. And
now,
if
if I'm somebody like Critical Mass, and again, we'll invite Critical back so he can speak for himself. But if I'm somebody like Critical Mass who is invited out to the company's the headquarters, it might be a little difficult to say, that Archangel having a couple QC issues.
If I don't have it in a contract, on ink and pen,
I'm not saying for me. I'm saying
that I need to act a certain way or talk a certain way, it ain't happening.
Exactly.
And to get me to that
for you, only business around here.
And to get me to that point where I would actually sign something like that is a whole nother story. So I mean, I think, and all I want to make a public announcement to the gentleman that posted in every single group. You don't gotta post in every single group.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
If you posted one, we see it. All right, everybody's in everybody's group. We see the
That's
post.
Not true.
It is true.
He has wider reach by posting in every group. Trust me. Not everybody.
We get your point. I get your point, though, Keesis. I get your point. Because I'm not.
There's enough cross references.
But hold on, Keesis. But what you don't understand, before he did that, the couple days leading up to that, he had already been dogging the piece and dogging it. So this was like filled up in him. Like he had to get it out. He had to. You go back. He had been posting before about it or commenting on other people's stuff. Like, and it was the same guy, just like badging at Ant to the point where even I felt bad. Like, damn, dude, just leave him alone. I will say that. Because at some point it was like, damn.
At some point, it's like you put your point across. It's very expensive. You don't think it should be that expensive, and then like now it's a matter of waiting and seeing.
But then he plugs in his own channel. And he's like, "Oh, I invite you," and I'm like, "Dog, you're past that point now."
Oh man, that's okay. I actually went to his channel. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah, I think this kind of like. I agree.
I understand his frustration, right? I want to understand his frustration, but then when you do some shit like that, I'm like, hold up now. I'm like, you might be right. He might just be somebody who just in their feelings right now. And it's just like, when you dog him days prior, that you make this post and you put it in every single group page.
Bro, did you see what Ant said? Ant said, man, you could join me on Rad Titan. Ant said you could join me on Fatal the Collector. Ant said,
and you're not even qualified to be even dealing with me.
Everybody not qualified.
Tim, you definitely not.
Ant said you're not qualified. You're not qualified to interview with me.
I loved it. I loved Ant's response.
Dude,
dude went a little too far, man. It's like at this point now you're just embarrassing yourself, bro.
I agree with D3. If you want to put something, just post it in the main group, Statue Collectors VIP. I do agree with that one.
I don't agree with that. I think basically by doing what he did, we're talking about what he wanted us to talk about right now, and he has effectively gotten what he wanted. So he was successful. You can tell him you could tell him not to do what he did when he fails, but if it works for him. Maybe you think he looks like a clown for like saying that, but why should he care about that when like he gets people to talk about the issue that he feels is an issue that wasn't being talked about?
I just think it was too far, man. That's all I was saying. I just thought it was too far.
And then
but I do get your point.
Also, with Ant's response too, this is what I mean by Ant being too accessible. Dog, you're in charge of PCS. You shouldn't go back and forth. I understand that's annoying. It's frustrating. All that. Dog, you're the head of PCS. Stop responding to this shit. Like,
I think it's fine for him to respond. He just should respond.
The people in J&D, they have a spokesperson responding.
in a very neutral manner. He doesn't have a. It's a small company, man. Like, what do you think? It's like it's a small business. It
Prime
like,
One ain't doing that.
trust me, they are in their group. they are doing it. You are very wrong.
Not the head of Prime One.
Johnny Matsumoto. Go check the Prime One group. It's there. So I know it's because my posts get refused to be posted. My post, when I try to post there, it doesn't go onto the group. And I see there's plenty.
Oh, but you're public enemy number one.
There's plenty screenshots of that guy from Prime One responding to plenty of people. It's not a matter of, if you want to know people that don't respond, it's Sideshow. Sideshow doesn't say anything about their controversies, and that's how they handle them. Regardless, I think it's time we close things out. I need to dip.
Yeah, man. Any last words from anybody, man? Any last words from anybody?
Yeah,
Please.
I think the
If you gotta go, Buck, you're good to go, bro.
Nah,
people coming on, we're not coming on is
Yeah.
I don't feel any kind of obligation to anybody watching. I'm asking questions
Yeah.
because I'm a fan. I want
Yeah.
to get answers to things, and to be able to pick their brain is a unique position to be in, and I thoroughly enjoy it. You know, that at least what I've seen, it's not like they're on every other week. You know, it's a couple months in between here and there, and most of the time.
And you know what I say to that, Joe?
We don't have shit to even talk about. We're just winging it. So having a guest.
You know what I say to that, Joe?
The
The audience appreciates your insight and the questions you ask them when it's you. You ask good questions, so they like your questions.
And you know, that's for me as a fan, as somebody who's involved and doing it on a download at home. You know, there's so much information to pick and ascertain from these guys. You know, simple little questions, man, and it just kind of opens it all up. So I love when those guys come on. You know, and for me, it's always been about the artist. You know, I don't care so much for talking to the company spokesperson.
I agree there. I just want to talk to the artists.
Yeah,
and also
painter, sculptor, whatever.
And also, I feel like to talk to some of these groups who, these channels who do have relationships, I would like to pick their mind on the reasoning behind, right? Like, whoever that you consider to have a relationship with PCS or Sideshow or XM, I would like to be like, okay, why? Like, do you feel not to talk to someone a certain way or this and that? That is perhaps one day a conversation, but I doubt it.
I don't think people that have like the company reps on their channel are actively trying to, ingratiate themselves with the company reps. I think it's a matter of you develop that personal relationship with someone, or like you start to see them more as a human being, as a person, than just like a faceless corporation, right? And so it becomes harder to treat them like a faceless corporation when there's a person attached to that, and the person, and the person has their like own like human wants, their needs, and like their own hopes and desires. You've talked to the person, that they're not trying to sell you a piece that's awful. They're actually trying their best. They've told you, oh, we really hope people would like this, and but it didn't come out that way. I don't think Ant is trying to like fuck the community with this statue on the price. Like, probably there's circumstances that have led to how it's happened for him. But in the end, like, it's a corporation selling a product, and customers have demands, and they have they have expectations. And so that like I don't think once the people on the stream start to see them that way, it becomes difficult to treat them like the faceless corporation. That's my point. So I don't even think the people that are pulling punches are necessarily bad. I just think they are not effective at interviewing people, and I don't think they should be called interviews anymore. I think they should be called hangout sessions.
Yeah,
that's what
I agree.
Those aren't interviews.
Well said, Buck. I agree with everything you said there. But on the other take, I've seen where there has been some channels with things like that where people get kickbacks, right? So that doesn't bode well. Either, right? So I can understand why some people in the community would say, hey, you're kind of like kissing their butt a little bit. Or they're trying to get in favor with them for some other monetary reasons that they could have.
That's true. Honestly, there are some people that are nefarious.
Right.
They do want benefits.
We've even talked about that before.
Yeah.
So that exists.
Yeah. But I'll just give the majority. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I'll assume it's not like to get something out of someone.
Right.
I until they show me reason to treat them that way, I won't. So right. And also I gotta head out, guys. I'm supposed to be on Everyday Collector right now, so I'll see you guys later. It was a great discussion. I appreciate you guys.
Before you run, Cash, I'm gonna make a slight announcement here, and you can feel free to let it stew a little bit, and it's kind of on topic. September 6th.
Having a baby now.
Will Harbottle, Casapena.
On the BBC?
Correct.
If you see me on this show when they come, it means I'm getting kickbacks. I'm kidding. All right. Good night, everybody.
Peace out, Buck.
Later, Buck.
After all the bullshit we were just talking.
Say it again, Joe.
What's that?
Say it again, Joe.
Will Harbottle, sculptor, and Casapena, the painter, his wife.
Right.
September 6th. Come on.
They're gonna watch this shit and be like,
Will, I got pretty friendly with him in the hour or two that I spoke with him at the StatueCon, and he was super interested in just like what my thoughts were on like just in general. He was surprised that people liked what he does. He thought nobody cared anymore. It was just super interesting to talk to the guy because he's had so many years in the field, and just so many amazing pieces he's done. So I spoke to him, and I was even talking to Cash about it back and forth while I was there about potentially asking those guys to come on. And at first I just asked Will, but then I said, hey man, I'm sure we'd like to discuss painting with your wife as well. Because
that right there is awesome, man, and that's part of that touches on what Buck said. It's like they're human too, right? And they're fans of what we do. They're also collectors. They're involved in it as well. I think it's great that people get on the show.
Yeah, but to touch on what Keesis was just saying, he had to get it greenlit by Sideshow because I guess it's new for.
You have to. You have to. I mean,
I sent them the link for the show when Jorge was on with us with the
and I'm sure that like there's probably stuff that he can't talk about, right?
I'm sure.
So it's just that way, you know what I mean? And that's perfectly expected.
I watched some of that playback, man, and there was a little bit of time there where we got a little wild, and I was like, man, hopefully they're okay with this.
I know.
Because some silly conversations. We have a way of being just like really playful, but like like teenage boy playful,
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure, but he emailed me back today. I've been talking to him quite a bit, man. Super nice guy.
But hey, man, my words are, I think I'm really excited for PCS. I think they're I think they're at a tilting point, right? I think just like Sideshow too. Sideshow is putting out a lot of bangers, right?
Yeah.
PCS has the Darth Maul coming out, right? We'll see how that looks. Those look like really huge bangers for me. Yeah. This piece right here, this Ghost Rider, man, this is a fantastic piece. I don't know what I could do with it. I can't do anything with it. It's too big. But you know what? I said that about the Superman Hush when it first came out, right? The thing was 40 inches tall, third scale. I was like,
look, I just hope the Ghost Rider comes out magnificent.
Yeah. For sure.
That still gives me hope for my Marcus whenever that comes out.
Hey, you ain't lying, but hey, man, that Marcus, shout out Casey Love on the paint is all I'm gonna say. Shout out Casey Love on the paint, man. Shout out Casey Love.
I think PCS currently is in a position where like Sideshow was like about a year and a half ago when they were first turning the corner, and everybody's like, damn, they're really killing it right now, And I think that PCS is kind of trending in that direction.
Yeah.
So I hope the best. I hope the thing crushes it, comes out killer.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, man.
wait a minute. I just found out Ant's a Ravens fan.
Oh yeah, he's a Raisin fan for sure. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he said that.
I'm biased now. I'm biased now.
All of a sudden, that's good with the price. All of a sudden,
that's fine. Just because of that, y'all gonna lose in the final round anyway.
Say what?
Y'all gonna lose in the AFC Championship anyway. It don't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I think the refs are over favoring KC because they got put in the spotlight.
Exactly.
So might have a different thing.
I forgot who your team was. I don't even know who your team is.
Chargers.
Who?
The Chargers.
Who?
They're still in the league.
Right.
Wow, y'all funny.
Look,
hey,
I don't know anything about the Chargers since LaDainian Tomlinson.
Hey, Antonio Gates.
Damn Fouts. Oh my God.
Hey,
just all right, time to wrap this up.
Just want to say,
I thought it would be.
I appreciate everybody for joining. Shout out to the panel, Buck, Matt, Glass, Joe, Keesis. Shout out to everybody who stopped through, man. We got up to about 37 people at one point, so I appreciate you guys. I know it was impromptu, but we just had two things we want to talk about real quick, intertwine them into one, and just come on for a bit. And last that I'll say is, again, I have a couple pre-recorded stuff that I'll be dropping this week. Still have a lot more shorts and stuff to upload from Glass Show. Dear God, them shorts was like 2,000, 3,000. One got like 13,000. Like, damn, okay, cool. And then I have two pre-recorded videos as well from Collector Zone to still throw up. And then that'll be all of that content. But again, thank you guys for coming. We'll see you guys this Saturday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on episode, I believe it's 86, maybe, if I'm not mistaken, or 89, I think, episode 89. But appreciate you guys, and man, dude, just keep collecting, and yeah, just keep collecting, man. That's all I can say. Episode 86. That's right. I have to double check before I get out of here. But see you guys next time, man. Peace out.
Peace.
Thanks for the live, guys. I enjoyed my stay. Fire show today. Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, shout out everybody in chat, man. Appreciate y'all.
Shout out to the chat, man.